If you don't know who I am, you haven't watched enough of these, so I suggest you watch some more. Today, we're going to be talking about hardware. And usually when we talk about hardware, we mean computer hardware. But today we're going to be talking about a little bit of a different kind of hardware, namely mounting hardware. And what is mounting hardware? It's pretty much anything that you can use to throw a camera on a wall or a ceiling or anywhere that you might want a camera to go. Since we deal a lot with people who are needing to take cameras and put them places and bring them in via SDI or NDI. This is a common topic. And a lot of times, these little guys are heavy and expensive, and sometimes they're ugly. And this particular unit available through US Broadcast is actually quite attractive, cost-effective, and versatile. We call it a universal mounting bracket. And why is that? So most manufacturers make a PTZ bracket for their own PTZ camera, and some of them are expensive, as I mentioned, and they're not terribly versatile. Their only job is to mount that PTZ camera or other camera to something. And there, we felt, is room for improvement there. So here we have the universal mounting bracket. It can be used in several different ways. It could be mounted like this, like that, like this, like that. So you can use it in two different ways. It has a variety of holes for mounting devices, which I'll get to in a minute. And it has this square pattern, which we can use to mount a variety of things to. Anything with a square pattern can be mounted to this. So that goes beyond just PTZ cameras and things that can be mounted via quarter 20. It could be, I'll show you in a minute, a NUC or an encoder or anything else. And then on the reverse side, when you're attaching this to the wall, you can also use these patterns to attach it to very specific locations, for example, to a particular stud. So you're not limited to the very specific places that a normal PTZ bracket offers. So that is this guy to start with. Then the next thing that we'll talk about is pretty much the same thing. It looks very similar to this, except for it's been cut off. And what would you use this for? And this is what we call a universal plate. And the universal plate, again, it's got the quarter 20, it's got a bunch of holes. You can use it to screw things into the ceiling, but this will let you basically put a quarter 20 anywhere with universal mounting options. So what would you do with that? You could use it to take a camera and put a pair of U-brackets on it and use it to tie this to a pole or a drop ceiling. You could use it to mount a device on a wall. This universal bracket is VESA compatible, so you could use this to take a monitor and put a quarter 20 on it and mount it to a tripod. So like we did over there, we used that tripod to attach this particular setup, even though this isn't how you would usually use it. For demonstration purposes, it was quite handy. And then the last but not least thing that we're going to talk about is this guy, which is a taking the universal mounting bracket and adding vibration insulation hardware to it. If you've ever mounted a PTZ camera to the underside of a church balcony, you may have experienced some vibration that's caused by zooming in. Now, this is a vibration dampener, not a vibration eliminator. Clearly, there's a difference in words there. It's almost impossible to completely eliminate vibration, but this is an option that will help reduce the vibration for those things which you might want to. And it's not strictly limited to PTZ cameras. Here we have an ATA UHD 6G 200. That could obviously be mounted to it, or anything, literally, with a quarter 20 mount. You could put a projector on it. You could put a PTZ camera, anything that you would hang from a ceiling or a wall that you would want to reduce the vibration on. So let's take a look at these guys over here. For clarity, I've removed the PTZ camera for now from the top, and you can see that I have this tripod here, which I've put a screw through and a nut on the other side. It was better than trying to attach it to a piece of wood and make that look good, but conversely, it makes a great example that you can attach these things to just about anything. So I have this backside attached to a tripod. And the next thing that you'll notice is I have an ATA POV camera mounted to the other side. And that's just because there's a 1/4-20 here, and then I put an arm here, and then we've got a POV camera here. It could really be anything that will take a 1/4-20. It could be a microphone, for example, if you wanted to have a microphone at the same spot as your PTZ camera. And then the next thing that we would do is we would put our PTZ camera up here, and then we'll put a little screw in, and now we have our PTZ camera mounted on top. So we have a PTZ camera on top, and we've got a POV camera or a Z-cam or a microphone on the bottom. So that's for starters. That's one of the orientations that we could do. Another thing that we could try is we could have a look at some other devices that we can attach, and this is not going to appear normal because I've attached two devices. I mean, technically we could probably screw this into a wall and then put a camera on top here. I have put a KiloView. This is an N3. This is a full NDI SDI encoder, and then I've also mounted a score hub. So I wanted to show that you can mount just about anything. The score hub is based on an Intel NUC platform, which is very similar to the Switchblade splices. I wanted to demo that functionality. So here is two devices mounted as well to give you an idea of the range involved in what you can do with the universal mounting bracket. The next thing I want to do is I want to take this vibration insulating housing and mount it on top of the PTZ bracket here. And I'm going to spare you some time, and voila. I pulled a Martha Stewart and pulled a already baked casserole out of the oven. So I've assembled this, and you can see that what it is it's our mounting bracket. You can't really well see the plate, but you can just kind of see the edge of it there. So it's a mounting bracket, it's a plate, and a closer view of that will show you the insulating washers as well. So there's three rubber gaskets or washers there. One of them is an O-ring, and then there's two that are just regular rubber insulating. And they are designed, believe it or not, to radiate vibration outwards. So they're dissipating the radiation as it travels through on its way to the camera, hopefully dampening the vibration before it gets to the lens/sensor array. PTZ cameras are notoriously sensitive because they're zoomed in quite a lot, and they're out on an arm here. So anything that you can do to reduce vibration for your PTZ cameras in areas of traffic is ideal. So that is a couple of different mounting options that are available from US Broadcast for doing live production and mounting hardware to at your various production locations. If you have any questions about them, please reach out. My name is Eric Pratt. It's eric@usbroadcast.co, and the website is usbroadcast.co. Thanks for watching.